Section 3 of Samson Agonistes. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Martin Geeson. Samson Agonistes by John Milton. Section 3. Manoah. Chorus. Samson. Brethren and men of Dan, for such ye seem, though in this uncouth place, if old respect, as I suppose, towards your once gloried friend, my son, now captive, hither hath informed your younger feet, while mine cast back with age came lagging after, say if he be here. As signal now in low dejected state, as erst in highest, behold him where he lies. O miserable change! Is this the man, that invincible Samson, far renowned, the dread of Israel's foes, who with a strength equivalent to angels walked their streets, none offering fight, who single combatant duelled their armies ranked in proud array, himself an army, now unequal match to save himself against a coward armed at one spear's length? O ever failing trust in mortal strength! And O what not in man deceivable and vain! Nay, what thing good prayed for, but often proves our woe, our bane? I prayed for children, and thought barrenness in wedlock a reproach. I gained a son, and such a son as all men hailed me happy. Who would be now a father in my stead? O wherefore did God grant me my request, and as a blessing with such pomp adorned? Why are his gifts desirable to tempt our earnest prayers, then, given with solemn hand as graces, draw a scorpion's tail behind? For this did the angel twice descend, for this ordained thy nurture holy as of a plant, select and sacred, glorious for a while, the miracle of men, then in an hour, ensnared, assaulted, overcome, led bound, thy foes' derision, captive, poor and blind, into a dungeon thrust, to work with slaves. Alas, methinks whom God hath chosen once to worthier deeds, if he through frailty err, he should not so o'erwhelm, and as a thrall subject him to so foul indignities, be it but for honour's sake of former deeds. Appoint not heavenly disposition, Father. Nothing of all these evils hath befallen me but justly. I myself have brought them on, sole author, I sole cause. If aught seem vile, as vile hath been my folly, who have profaned the mystery of God given me under pledge of vow, and have betrayed it to a woman, a Canaanite, my faithless enemy. This well I knew, nor was at all surprised, but warned by oft experience. Did not she of Timnah first betray me, and reveal the secret wrested from me in her height of nuptial love professed, carrying it straight to them who had corrupted her, my spies and rivals. In this other was there found more faith, who also in her prime of love spousal embraces, vitiated with gold, though offered only, by the scent conceived her spurious firstborn treason against me. Thrice she essayed with flattering prayers and sighs, and amorous reproaches, to win from me my capital secret, in what part my strength lay stored, in what part summ'd, that she might know. Thrice I deluded her, and turned to sport her importunity, each time perceiving how openly and with what impudence she purposed to betray me, and, which was worse than undissembled hate, with what contempt she sought to make me traitor to myself. Yet the fourth time, when mustering all her wiles, with blandished parleys, feminine assaults, tongue batteries, she surceased not day nor night to storm me overwatched and wearied out. At times when men seek most repose and rest, I yielded, and unlocked her all my heart, who with a grain of manhood well resolved might easily have shook off all her snares, but foul effeminacy held me yoked her bondslave. O indignity! O blot to honour and religion! Servile mind rewarded well with servile punishment. The base degree to which I now am fallen, these rags, this grinding, is not yet so base as was my former servitude, ignoble, unmanly, ignominious, infamous, true slavery, and that blindness worse than this, that saw not how degenerately I served. I cannot praise thy marriage choices, son, rather approved them not, but thou didst plead divine impulsion, prompting how thou mightst find some occasion to infest our foes. I state not that. This I am sure, our foes found soon occasion thereby to make thee their captive, and their triumph. Thou the sooner temptation foundst, or over potent charms to violate the sacred trust of silence deposited within thee, which to have kept tacit was in thy power, true, and thou hear'st enough, and more, the burden of that fault. Bitterly hast thou paid, and still art paying that rigid score. A worse thing yet remains. This day the Philistines a popular feast here celebrate in Gaza, and proclaim great pomp and sacrifice and praises loud to Dagon, as their god, who hath delivered thee, Samson, bound and blind into their hands. Them out of thine, who slewest them many a slain. So Dagon shall be magnified, and God, besides whom is no God, compared with idols, disglorified, blasphemed, and had in scorn by the idolatrous rout amidst their wine, which to have come to pass by means of thee, Samson, of all thy sufferings think the heaviest, of all reproach the most with shame that ever could have befallen thee and thy father's house. Father, I do acknowledge and confess that I this honour, I this pomp have brought to Dagon, and advanced his praises high among the heathen round. To God have brought dishonour, obloquy, and oped the mouths of idolists and atheists, have brought scandal to Israel, diffidence of God, and doubt in feeble hearts, propense enough before to waver or fall off and join with idols, which is my chief affliction, shame and sorrow, the anguish of my soul that suffers not mine eye to harbour sleep, or thoughts to rest. This only hope relieves me, that the strife with me hath end. All the contest is now twixt God and Dagon. Dagon hath presumed, me overthrown, to enter lists with God, his deity comparing and preferring before the God of Abraham. He sure will not connive or linger thus provoked, but will arise and his great name assert. Dagon must stoop, and shall ere long receive such a discomfort as shall quite despoil him of all these boasted trophies won on me, and with confusion blank his worshippers. With cause this hope relieves thee, and these words I as a prophecy receive. For God, nothing more certain, will not long defer to vindicate the glory of his name against all competition, nor will long endure it doubtful whether God be Lord or Dagon. But for thee what shall be done? Thou must not in the meanwhile here forgot lie in this miserable loathsome plight neglected. I already have made way to some Philistian lords, with whom to treat about thy ransom. Well they may by this have satisfied their utmost of revenge by pains and slaveries worse than death inflicted on thee, who now no more canst do them harm. Spare that proposal, father, spare the trouble of that solicitation. Let me here, as I deserve, pay on my punishment, and expiate, if possible, my crime. Shameful garrulity! To have revealed secrets of men, the secrets of a friend, how heinous had the fact been, how deserving contempt and scorn of all, to be excluded all friendship, and avoided as a blab, the mark of fool set on his front. But I God's counsel have not kept, his holy secret presumptuously have published, impiously, weakly at least, and shamefully, a sin that Gentiles in their parables condemn to their abyss and horrid pains confined. End of section 3. Recording by Martin Geeson in Hazelmere, Surrey.